The largest charge being human and sex trafficking of women into the office, also the improper sterilization of equipment used on routine procedures like speculums and catheters, and also the misuse of single-use products on multiple women without their knowledge. Women all over the world go to doctors for help, for pain, and are gaslit, told our diseases don't exist, and research is not done, and we are not helped.
He was doing unnecessary procedures on people. He was using one-time use equipment on women. So instead of throwing it away, he was taking and putting these in a plastic bucket, putting solution on it, and using this shit on multiple patients.
In a TikTok that's now going viral, this woman claims she was assaulted by Dr. Aido Abdu back in August of 2021. A medical facility now being flooded with serious allegations. She trusted the clinic. She trusted the doctors. She trusted the system. But what happened to her behind closed doors at Poplar Avenue Clinic in Memphis, Tennessee, was something no woman should ever go through. She suffers from endometriosis, a condition that affects millions of women, but is often misunderstood and ignored. Like many, she went to the doctor looking for answers and relief. Her name is not known to the world, but her pain is now shared by thousands online. She says she was assaulted while under anesthesia during a routine medical procedure.
Hi, you don't know me, but my name is 𝐒𝐢𝐧𝐞 and I have Addison's disease. I also have hypothyroidism and endometriosis. I've had surgery for a heart condition as well, making it now 3 surgeries before the age of 25. When I was 21, I was recommended to a doctor in the Memphis, Tennessee area where I lived at the time going to college, and went to see this doctor. And during a procedure, I believe that I was assaulted. The procedure was a cytoscopy with hydrodistension done to see if I had interstitial cystitis, because the doctor did not believe in endometriosis as a diagnosis. I'm only sharing a little bit of details about the incident for my protection because I'm seeking legal action. The office that doctor works at is now currently under investigation by the FBI for a slew of charges. The largest charge being human and sex trafficking of women into the office, also the improper sterilization of equipment used on routine procedures like speculums and catheters, and also the misuse of single-use products on multiple women without their knowledge. So I went to this doctor for help with endometriosis pain, was assaulted during a procedure, and given products that may or may not be clean. The FBI is currently seeking any information from any patient of this clinic, and I would like some sort of legal protection before I go to the FBI. I'm terrified and in so much medical debt. The reality is, I don't know that I would be able to pay for a retainer. I know that I don't have money right now for a lawyer, but that it's really important that I fight this in court. Women all over the world go to doctors for help, for pain, and are gaslit, told our diseases don't exist, and research is not done, and we are not helped. I wish I could say I was more surprised about hearing that a doctor's office that I went to had performed these terrible things against me and other women, but I'm not surprised at all. What I really am is angry. I'm angry at those doctors, at the nurses, the whole practice, at everyone involved with that place. I'm angry that I can't afford personally to have someone represent me because of all of the medical debt that I am in, keeping myself alive. I've gone on the internet and asked for money in different ways to help with life finances as somebody chronically ill, but now I'm asking TikTok. Help if you can, please. I don't know if you remember me, but I posted a while ago a viral video about an OBGYN clinic in Memphis, Tennessee that was shut down by the FBI. I received information today that they have allowed the clinic to reopen because the doctor needs to get back to his patients. If you don't understand the situation, I found out about an FBI investigation against an OBGYN clinic that I attended in 2021 in Memphis, Tennessee, called Poplar Avenue Clinic and Women's Med Spa. The head doctor, Dr. 𝐒𝐡𝐢𝐧𝐞 Kumar, who was the doctor overseeing Poplar Avenue Clinic when I was a patient, recently was indicted on federal charges, including trafficking, unnecessary medical practices, sexual assault, human trafficking, medical fraud, and a slew of other charges, including not cleaning medical supplies, reusing single-use supplies on multiple women, and improperly using supplies. Word has just come out that they are allowing Poplar Avenue Clinic to reopen under the direction of Dr. Kumar. This is evil. I'm so incredibly angry and saddened by the news that they're allowed to reopen. I think it's a step in the wrong direction for all of the women in Memphis, Tennessee who have been harmed by this medical practice, and they should not be able to have their licenses and see any patients or conduct business as a medical practice. This information has put me and several other women who were patients of Poplar Avenue Clinic into a deep spiral recently. I am still in the process of trying to deal with legal proceedings about the FBI's investigation, including a civil and criminal suit against the doctors at the clinic. This is just another post to say, someone help and do something. If you or anyone that you know was a patient of Poplar Avenue Clinic in Germantown, Tennessee from September 2019 to June 2024, speak up and speak out. Over 200 women have come forward as patients so far of Dr. Kumar, stating that they have had negative experiences or been assaulted by him, and it only will stop. This will only get better if more women come forward. I'm sharing my story once again to bring awareness to this because I'm obviously extremely concerned that they're going to continue to harm women in the Memphis, Tennessee area. And I believe that this is an extremely immoral and evil decision on the Department of Health. Someone do something.
Okay, story time on what just happened to me. Okay, so if you ever been to the Poplar Avenue Clinic in Memphis and, visited Dr. Kumar, this is what just happened. So back in April 2023, I went and got my tubes removed. I had made the decision I didn't want any more kids, and I went to my primary OBGYN, and she's like, well, I can't, do it the way you want to do it. You want to do it laparoscopic. I can cut you from one end to the other and do it that way. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I've never had like a, C-section, so I don't want to mess my belly up any worse than I have to. So she refers me to him. So I go to him, and, the first time I went in there for a consultation. When I went in there for my consultation, they did a full, everything. They went in there, they took a biopsy to make sure I didn't have cervical cancer, basically, because when I go into surgery, they didn't want to, see anything, that would alert them, which was fine. Well, I went in again, and I was supposed to go for a consultation with the doctor. So he was also in the room. Well, while he was in the room, he was telling me about how my surgery was going to go, where I was going to be at, when my surgery date was, all that, going over everything. Well, he tells me, we're going to have to do another pap smear on you and do another biopsy. And I'm like, okay, that should have been my first red flag. I asked him, I was like, well, why do I have to do another one when my test results came back fine? He was like, just to be sure, because I have a family history of cervical cancer. I was like, okay. Well, on April 17th, I go in for my surgery. I'm wiping myself down with all the surgical equipment, like the stuff they give you to wipe you down and make sure you're sterile. So I go in there, I have my surgery. Mind you, 2 months later, I see the Poplar Avenue Clinic is being raided. And I'm like, what the hell? What's going on? Well, they didn't say anything, so I didn't know. I looked up everything for like 2 years trying to figure out what this man did. Well, yesterday I'm scrolling Facebook. I look on there. Turns out that he could be serving 189 years if convicted of these crimes. Okay, so he was doing unnecessary procedures on people. He was using one-time use equipment on women. So instead of throwing it away, he was taking and putting these in a plastic bucket, putting solution on it, and using this shit on multiple patients. So basically, the one-time use tool that he's supposed to use on each patient is being used multiple times. Also was doing unnecessary procedures, giving people hysterectomies. You know, this girl, I was reading her, she said that he gave her a hysterectomy 3 times. I'm like, how would you get a hysterectomy 3 times? You have a partial or you have a full? You know, I'm like, what the hell? Well, when I went to the GI specialist, because I was having, you know, some issues with my GI, the doctor was asking all the necessary questions. She's like, have you ever had surgery before? And so I was like, yes, I've had a bilateral tubal removal. I can't say the name. It's sapingectomy or whatever. She goes, no, that's not what this is saying. It's saying you had 𝐒𝐤𝐠𝐡𝐭 something. I don't know. But what it meant, I looked it up. It meant that I had both tubes removed and my ovaries. I was like, no, ma'am, I did not have my ovaries removed. I still have a period. There's no reason why it should say that. I think the doctor put that on there for insurance purposes to make more money. Well, I'm kind of feeling violated at this point because, like, the equipment, like the surgical tools being used more than once on more than one patient, you know, that's dangerous. You don't ever know if somebody else has got, like, sexually transmitted diseases, you know, AIDS, any of that. You don't know. So I'm freaking out. So I have to make an appointment to go to my other OBGYN that originally sent me there to have test done. You know, the man is facing 189 years because he is doing fraud. He's obviously using equipment over and over. He's the #1 doctor that's paid in Memphis because he's using all this shit, like insurance fraud, not buying new surgical tools. What the article said was that he was using these tools until they would break or they were too bent to go into the vaginal canal. So I'm probably about to sue this motherfucker. I am going to sue him because what in the hell? So if you ever went to the Poplar Avenue Clinic and you visited Dr. Kumar, just to let you know, you need to have a lawsuit ready. You need to go get tested. There's a bunch of stuff going into this, but he could be facing 189 years for what he did. It's very corrupt. It kind of makes me feel very fucking violated. It is violated. It violated my rights. You know, why would I need a biopsy twice? Why every time I come in there, you're doing all these unnecessary things whenever I'm in there for one thing? Like I come in there basically just for orientation to talk to you and you want me to get undressed again. So they said that he was also hiring inexperienced workers so he can get away with what he was doing. So these people aren't even trained professionals. He's using these people who don't know what they're doing to be in a surgical room with you and watching everything you do. Like, I don't even know what he was doing while I was there laid out on the table. You know, I have no clue. And like I said, I have a scar above my belly button about this big. I thought he was going to go through my belly button. He didn't. So, y'all, I don't know, but I'm a little freaked out right now. So,
a healthcare nightmare. The FBI is looking for more women who may have been victims of a Memphis gynecologist accused of performing unnecessary procedures on patients, but also reusing medical devices. Fox 13 told you the details of a federal indictment, in fact, on Friday.
And tonight we're hearing from a patient of Dr. Sanjeev Kumar. Fox 13 health reporter Mandy Rock is live outside the clinic that doctor opened in East Memphis. And Mandy, you spoke to a patient who said she's still having complications after a surgery she says she was forced to get.
Yeah, that's right, Daryl. And we are concealing that woman's identity and altering her voice to protect her privacy. But she says she wants to share her story in hopes it will encourage other potential victims to come forward.
I mean, I'm thinking he was checking me out. You know, he was doing right, but obviously he wasn't because I'm still having problems.
Violated and confused. That's how patients of Dr. Sanjeev Kumar say they feel after learning he was arrested Friday and accused of performing unnecessary procedures. One woman we talked to who wants to remain anonymous said she went to see Dr. Kumar in 2021 for unexplained bleeding.
I actually went to a doctor at Baptist, and they referred me to him. And by the time I got to him, he said that I had to have an emergency hysterectomy, that I couldn't get the laser, I couldn't get any of that.
After the surgery, she said her incision didn't heal properly, and she developed raised scars on her skin called keloids. She now wonders if the operation was even necessary.
Once I had the surgery, when I got out the surgery, I had this very bad cut on me, and it was bleeding so much, and it's got like keloid skin, and I don't have keloid skin.
According to the 23-count federal indictment, Dr. Kumar is accused of coercing at least 4 women to travel to Memphis to perform illegal sex acts between September 2019 and June 2024. It also accuses him of conducting unnecessary medical procedures, reusing disposable medical devices, not sterilizing equipment, and falsely billing insurance programs like Medicare and Medicaid. Fox 13 went to Dr. Kumar's office in the Women's Health and Med Spa on Poplar Avenue Monday morning. The door was locked and a sign on the door said clinic closed.
I don't think he should be practicing anymore, and we should be compensated for this, because either our insurance company should be suing him too.
And I also called Dr. Kumar's office today, but nobody answered. Court documents don't show an attorney for him just yet. He faces multiple years in prison and a $250,000 fine if he is convicted. And federal agents think that there may be more patients affected. If you believe you might have been a victim, we posted how you can reach out to the FBI on our website, fox13memphis.com.
This isn't just a Memphis issue. This is a women's issue. Ladies, be careful where you go for care. Ask questions. Do your research. Don't be afraid to speak up, because what happened here is wrong on every level. Women deserve to feel safe. Women deserve to be protected. Women deserve justice. If over 200 women are saying the same thing, why isn't anyone listening? Why is this doctor out on bail? Why is this clinic still allowed to reopen its doors? We need answers. We need action. And most importantly, we need justice.